Paul, it's funny, I'm watching you, I'm listening to you. I feel like I'm looking in the mirror because yoga, meditation were my gateways as well. I'm not sitting here today. I'm not living my life unless yoga comes into my life, meditation comes into my life. So, your relationship early on in your life, in your 20s, to yoga and meditation to where you are today, can you kind of walk us through as far as how does that function? Like, how did yoga and meditation become part of your life routine and what did they mean to you?
Well, I think the real big transition or the big moment was when I learned meditation from this Indian yogi living in America. Like I didn't want to learn meditation until I had a dream, because in the autobiography of a yogi, the kid has a dream, and the guru comes into his dream and tells him where to go to find his teacher. So I said, that's what I want. So everybody was learning meditation from this Indian yogi, and I was putting it off. I wouldn't go. And I said, I have to have a dream first. So every night I would go to sleep and try to have a dream, you know, to tell me to go see him and to have meditation from him. So finally, he told me to come to. He was in Palo Alto, California. So he said, come to Palo Alto next Saturday and see me. So I went Saturday, and I was kind of unhappy because I was waiting for this dream and it wasn't coming. And I thought, maybe I'm doing something wrong, or maybe I don't have the right karma or something. So I went there, and all these people, one after another, were going in the bedroom and learning meditation from him. And I was like the last one. So I said, well, I'm going to go talk to him. So I went and sat down, and there was really heavy energy in the room, like kind of feeling woozy. And I told him my problem. I said, I want to learn meditation, but I think I should have a dream first. And he looked at me and he said, meditate now, dream later. And then he closed his eyes and he taught me meditation, and that was it. And then after that, I got so buzzed from that experience, which was so different from anything I'd experienced in drugs. I told him, and I hadn't planned to say this, I told him, I am at your disposal. Whatever you tell me to do, if you need any help with anything, I'm available. Like, I'm just going to yoga classes every day. And he said, well, he was going to tour the United States, but he needed somebody to drive him in the different cities he was going to. Did I have a car? And I had a Volkswagen bus like everyone else in the 60s. So he said, well, okay, you come with me to the first place was Kansas City. And then from there, I'm going to go to the East Coast. So I did that. I toured with him for a couple months. And that's how I got started.
And now you've been meditating with Buddhists for approximately 20 years, is it?
Yeah, it was sort of a substitute because I wasn't um, around my old group anymore. The group that the guru was head of, he passed away. And then it was like, I don't know, I just needed a change. So my friends were going to Buddhist meditation in Hawaii where I lived, and they said, "Oh, come with us." And I started going, and I just went. I'd never considered myself an actual Buddhist, but I just really liked the energy of meditating together with other people once a week or so. There's some special energy, I think, when you meditate with other people. So it enhances your practice. So that was basically why I did. And I made friends with all the Buddhists, and we had great potlucks there. And, you know, it was a good thing,
Good
good
old,
scene.
good Buddhist time. Now,
Yeah.
but there was never a consideration to actually become a Buddhist monk yourself.
Oh, no, no. I never wanted to be a monk of any kind. Although I did go in a monastery in India. I don't know. Did you happen to read that part of the book? No, probably not. Yeah.
I saw some parts. I did not see that one.
Okay. Well, I went into a monastery because I thought I was becoming degenerate. Like after art, I went to art school in Philadelphia, and I thought, you know, I just thought, there's all these beautiful women everywhere, and I'm like, I was just freaking out. So I said, I'm going to go in this monastery and like clean myself out. But the problem was that if you go in this monastery, you have to commit your whole life to become a monk. even if you decide it was the wrong choice. That's how firm your commitment should be. But I didn't really think it out too carefully. I just went in the monastery thinking, oh, I'll figure out a way to get out of here later.
How long did
So
you last in the monastery?
a couple months,
A couple
but
months.
I didn't want to leave because I just felt like that was a bad look. So I just kept waiting, and eventually, the Indian government, it was Indira Gandhi was the president or prime minister, and she became sort of like declared martial law, and she declared this group uh, illegal. So they came and arrested the people who were teaching us in this monastery, and they took them away. And then the next day they came back, all these police like wearing brown shorts, knee socks and stuff with sticks. They came back and they took the next group of monks out who were teaching us. And now we were all alone there. And the policeman told me, tomorrow we're coming back for everybody. So figure out what you're going to do. So we decided we were going to get out, but the police were guarding the front. If we got out in the front of the monastery, we would walk right into them. So we decided we'd go out the back where the well was, and we waited till like 4 in the morning, and we snuck out through the rice paddies and went into the neighboring town. And that's when I went on. That's kind of where the title of the book comes from, Undercover in India. I went underground and stayed in India. Everybody else left. All of the foreigners, they all went somewhere, Sweden, and I stayed in India.
Did it occur to you at that point or before you met me that you were actually evolving into a Jubu?
Not really. No, I never thought of that till I heard of you. I never heard that expression. Although I know if you look at, I read once that 80% of all the leaders of spiritual groups in the US anyway, uh, are Jews.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
So,
I don't know if we can or should be saying that, but I will tell you this much: for myself, born and raised Jewish as yourself, and also finding my way to Buddhism, I consider it for spirituality, not as a religion. But when I try to describe to people what I am, because they always say, "What are you? What do you believe in?" Well, I'm a Jew, but I also am into Buddhism. I follow Buddhism. Anyways, I'm like, I'm a Jubu, and then it just started rolling off the tongue that way, and that'll be in my book, down the road. But right now
yeah.
we're talking about you. But just again, remember there's some Jubuness there. It's funny.
Okay.
Whether we need a
I'll buy
label,
I'll buy a copy
deal.
when your book comes out.